Welcome to Victory Videos. I'm Dave Dobbins.
And I'm Eve McHugh.
And on today's program, we're going to be addressing a highly controversial subject, the sanctity of human life versus when life really actually begins. In other words, the issue of abortion rights.
This program is a report on recent events that have occurred in Wichita, Kansas with Randall Terry's Operation Rescue. Also, there have been recent prayer rallies from LA to Cincinnati with the Life Chain.
A human chain of people holding signs in hands across the city. Peaceful gatherings, thousands of local people, young and old, standing up for what they believe in, life.
We certainly have seen the scenes on TV in Wichita earlier this year, where people have been literally dragged from the protests on the streets by police and arrested for unlawful assembly.
The Roe v. Wade decision has been challenged on many fronts by many opponents, and some feel needs to be overturned. In some states, consent for abortion for the parents has become law. Even recently in the state of Ohio, Governor Voinovich recently signed a law about this issue and has already been opposed, received great opposition. On Victory Videos today, we're going to take a look back at earlier this year at Life Chain, a peaceful rally which took place here in Cincinnati and in northern Kentucky, and Victory Videos cameras were there.
We're glad you're going to take you now to that event held earlier this year, so we can view what people in that area feel about abortion rights issues.
Hi, this is Dave Dobbins with Victory Videos, and thank you for joining us today on our special program. Well, today we're right in the Covington, Kentucky area on Madison Avenue, and we're in the middle of what is now called one of the largest events in the Cincinnati area, which is happening today in March of 1991. This is called Life Chain, and we're in front of Holmes High School in Covington, Kentucky, and this is an event where people are taking a stand against the issue of abortion. The purpose of Life Chain is the event will provide a visual statement of solidarity by tri-state citizens that abortion is wrong and that greater Cincinnatians and northern Kentuckians are opposed to the killing of preborn children. The goal in Life Chain is to mobilize thousands of greater Cincinnatians in a massive witness upholding the sanctity of human life. There are over 22 organizations in the greater Cincinnati area participating in this event, along with over 20,000 people participating in this event today. Now, behind me you see people that are holding up the sign, "Abortion Kills Children." That's pretty much what you're going to see most of today. And in our program today, we'll bring you music videos that will kind of help tell the story behind this and support the issue of abortion and versus life. We'll see videos today from Harvest, Ray Boltz, Paul Overstreet, Voices of the Unborn, and a lot of others, and also a song coming to you from Pat Boone. We will not be able to bring you today all of the 20,000 people along this chain of life, people who are standing for the sanctity of life against abortion, but we will try to show you today on Victory Videos an insight of what is happening here in the greater Cincinnati area. Before we go to our first two videos, I wanted to read to you a little something from a book written by Susan Nieberg Turkle on the issue of abortion. It says, "Changing social mores in the liberalization of some states of abortion laws during the 1960s and early 70s enabled women to feel more comfortable about discussing their abortions. For what had once been taken for granted to be a personal ordeal was increasingly being perceived as a larger outrage, an injustice against women as a group. When abortion was legal, women terminated their unwanted pregnancies secretly, dangerously, shamefully. But as soon as women began asserting themselves, demanding more than the traditional roles of housewives, pink-collar workers, low-paying jobs like secretary, store clerk, and clerical workers, demanding that motherhood be a choice, not a requirement, even demanding freedom in sexuality. Women began to expect to control their own bodies and their own fertility. Abortion was no longer just a personal matter, to take care of an unwanted pregnancy. It emerged as a rallying point for social change and equality. End of quote. Now, this is a subject we can't begin to hit all of it today, but what we're going to do today on today's program in Victor Videos is just give you a little touch of what's happening in your area right here in Cincinnati, a highly controversial issue. We hope that you'll stay with us. Coming up next, we've got 2 videos for you to start off our program. This is from Harvest, Children, Things We Throw Away, followed by Ray Boltz, and What Was I Supposed to Be? 2 for you on Victory Videos.
Children, created in the image of the Lord. Children, a miracle conceived within the womb. How can you stand by and say it isn't your concern? How can you deny they're your children? Open up your heart, let the truth you've never learned replace the wicked lies that have destroyed all of the children. Little girls and boys we throw away. Children, no one will be able to replace them. How can you just hide behind the government of man when God in all His righteousness will judge them? How can you just stay at home and never lift a hand to try to stop the killing, start saving them? We gotta say no, just can't let it go on. We gotta say no, just can't let it go on. We gotta say no, just can't let it go on. We gotta say no, just can't let it go on. Children, cradled in the bosom of the Father. Children, protected now forever by the Lord. How can you stand by and say it isn't your concern? How can you deny they're your children? Open up your heart, let the truth you've never learned replace the wicked lies that have destroyed them. We gotta say no, we just can't let it go on. We gotta say no, we just can't let it go on. We gotta say no, we just can't let it go on. We gotta say no, we just can't let it go on. No, we just can't let it go on. We gotta say no, we just can't let it go on. We gotta say no, we just can't let it go on. We gotta say no, we just can't let it go on. We gotta say no.
And I wrote this song for a group of kids because my pastor talked about them in church one Wednesday night. He said they never get to be anything because in this nation, abortion is legal. And I got to thinking about those little children. And I thought about them. Do you believe they have a special place in God's heart? Do you? They've never done one thing wrong, and yet they're condemned to die. That reminds me of Jesus, because He knows just what that feels like. And I see those little kids reach out and take His hand. say, Jesus, what was I supposed to be? When Jesus walked upon the earth, on the shores of Galilee, he'd say to his disciples, let those little children come to me. I wonder if up in heaven, do you suppose we'll see little children ask him, what was I supposed to be? What was I supposed to be? What were my eyes supposed to see? And why did I taste of death before I even drew a breath? Or laid my head at my mama's breast to sleep? Oh Jesus, what was I supposed to be? What was I supposed to be? What were my eyes supposed to see? Why did I taste of death before I even drew a breath? Laid my head at my mother's breast to sleep. Oh Jesus, what was I supposed to be? Was I to be a prophet used in the ministry? A doctor who would find the cure for some terrible disease? And even if I'd been born imperfect, why couldn't my parents see I'd have been made perfect? You came back for me. Oh Jesus, what was I supposed to be? What were my eyes supposed to see? Why did I taste of death before I even drew a breath? Laid my head in my mother's breast to sleep. Oh Jesus, what was I supposed to be? Oh Jesus, what was I supposed to be? What was I supposed to be? Jesus, what was I supposed to be?
As sisters and brothers, we need this strength from each other. For only then will hope begin. Reach out, experience the joy within.
The Salvation Army salutes those who give of themselves for the good of others.
It makes life safer to have rules.
Yeah, if you didn't have rules, someone would get hurt.
You shouldn't make noise on the bus because sometimes the bus driver, he needs his ears to hear everything.
Like when you have to stop by the train tracks.
Yeah.
You shouldn't stay too close to the curb, otherwise you could get flattened or something.
You should walk at least 10 feet away from the bus so you can see the driver and the driver can see you.
It's very cool to follow the rules.
Well, we're on the street with one of our sign holders. Hi, I won't take you away from your work. Tell me your name.
Sharon McKenzie,
And Sharon, why are you here today?
because I believe that unborn children have a right to be born. They should not be killed. And I believe that Jesus Christ wants them to have a chance to live too, so they can have a chance to accept him.
That's great. There's a lot of people out here today. You think everybody that's standing out here pretty much has the same feeling in their heart?
I believe they do, or they wouldn't be here today.
Are you frustrated by some of the laws of this country?
Very, very much so. Very.
You think that this will make a difference?
I hope it will. I hope everyone that is against abortion will stand up and say that they are, so that we can get some laws changed and this killing can stop.
Thank you, Sharon. We're going to move on with some more people. Thank you, dear. You're our last person on the very beginning of this life chain in front of Holmes High School over here. You have on abortion stops a beating heart. What does that mean to you?
It means that if we don't stop this abortion, then more children are going to be killed, and I think it's a terrible thing, and I'm glad that we're here, and I think that with this we can be a good witness for not only to stop abortion, but also for Jesus Christ.
That's great. Well, you know, the message is pretty much the same as we go through. As we've been out here today, we've already heard a lot of hecklers going down and screaming and yelling and saying terrible things. Well, how does that affect you?
Well, I pity them. I pity them, and I pray that they will see that it is wrong, and that what our signs say, it is the truth.
This is kind of a sign of the end times, isn't it?
Yes, I think so.
Well, thank you so much for being with us. God bless you.
Thank you.
Alrighty. We'll be back with more right after this. Dave Dobbins with Charlie Leo of Latonia Christian Church. Charlie, it's good to see you here today, standing up for the issue.
It's good to be here. I tell you, Jesus died so that we might live. He sure didn't die so that we would take life, and this is not a violent protest by no means, but it's the church taking a stand for what we believe, what we know is right.
Now, you told me that you're involved with Latonia Christian Church here in Kentucky, northern Kentucky.
Yes, I'm the associate minister there now, Dave.
And you have a lot of your people out here today. Why is everybody taking the time out of the day to be out here to make this stand? I mean, what kind of difference can we make?
Well, I think we just let those that go by see that, we're taking a stand against abortion, and the sign tells it all. Abortion kills children. The story of Jesus is the story of life, not death.
Tell me about your friend here. You want to introduce somebody to us, and tell us your name and where you're from.
My name is Lisa Graber, and I'm from Latonia.
Okay, and what are you going to tell us about this young lady, Charlie?
She's involved with Compassion Alternatives, local ministry here, Dave. Lisa, tell them just a little bit about it.
It's a crisis pregnancy center, and it's where girls can come to get free pregnancy tests and counseling, and it's a total Christian organization, and they really care about the girls, which you won't find anywhere else. It's real good.
What is your involvement there?
I'm a counselor, volunteer counselor for them.
So if somebody's watching this program today that lives in this area and they're pregnant or and feel like they're going to be in that situation and they feel like they have nobody to reach out to, who can they call? What's the phone number?
It's 431-0011, and we're open Tuesdays and Thursdays.
That's great. Charlie, this is an issue that's just, as I said earlier in the program, is a really, really hot issue. It's one that brings about a lot of venom in people. People get real excited about the issue of abortion. Why do you think we're still talking about this after almost 20 years since Roe versus Wade in '73?
Well, I really don't know, Dave. The only thing I can say is if 20 years ago, if we would have done our job to begin with, we could have been doing something else today.
I understand that 1 out of every 3 women who becomes pregnant gets an abortion. There's some astounding statistics.
It's frightening. It's really frightening, and there's so often that it takes place, Dave, and there's no counseling in advance, and the young girl really doesn't understand what she's doing, and there's so many childless couples out there that would love to have a newborn infant, and to put that infant to death is totally wrong as far as I'm concerned. It's just totally wrong. And I'm sure glad my parents didn't do it to me.
I am too. Thank you so much for sharing with us today, guys. God bless you. Keep on holding your sign, and we're going to move on down the road. We'll be back with more. There is an alternative to abortion right after this.
This is a drug treatment center. It's where I got rid of a terrible habit. Now I work here helping other people get rid of drug habits. I want to see this town clean up. I'm a drug buster.
I hire guys from the local drug treatment center. My wife says don't do it, but I say someone has to give them a break. It's my way of getting drugs out of our town. Call me a drug buster.
Drug busters don't let drugs win. A public service of the National Institute on Drug Abuse.
Miranda Francisco, perhaps the most remarkable dancer in the world. She once suffered hundreds of seizures a day, but thanks to an operation performed at a Children's Miracle Network hospital, in which the entire left side of Miranda's brain was removed, she now walks, talks, and even dances, pretty much like other kids her age. And if you don't think that's remarkable, we have half a mind to tell you otherwise. The Children's Miracle Network, it's working wonders.
You're watching the human effort of what Life Chain is all about. Men, women, and children who are taking a public stand on their beliefs about saving life, not killing babies through abortion. These are just a few of the many thousands of people from over 200 churches that stood peaceably from northern Kentucky across the Suspension Bridge to Cincinnati. And as you can see, it was quite an awesome sight. Life Chain's message is geared to women who've been contemplating abortion and who need to know that there is another alternative. If you're in a position today, you know someone who is contemplating abortion and needs help or just needs someone to talk to, we'd like to encourage you to call the Crisis Pregnancy Center in northern Kentucky at 431-0011. Coming up next, a video that is considered the anthem of the pro-life movement. Here's Fight the Fight on Victory Videos, remembering that God values life.
More Americans die in 1 year by abortion than all of our war deaths combined.
Prophets come and prophets go, like the grass, they fade away. But the words that broke their hearts, like the light, it's here to stay. We could just pretend that we have never heard a single word that was spoken. We could hide our hearts and cry, how could we know that an unborn heart could be broken? Soldiers come and soldiers go, like the grass, they fade away. But the banner of the truth that they held is here to stay. Give me all your tired and give me your poor, are the promised words on our promised shores. Can't you hear the silent screaming going on? It's been much too long. Can't you hear them crying, Father, Father? Why won't people bother to pray? To pray. Father, 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 how your heart must ache for the newly formed little lives we take. You can hear the silent screaming going on. It's been much too long. Can't we help it? Fight the fire. Light the light. Let's come against the night. Fight the fire. Light the light. Let's take our stand and heal our land with His light. Crying Abba, Father, why won't people bother to pray? Fight the fight, light the light. Let's come against the night. Fight the fight, light the light. Let's come against the night. Fight the fight, light the light. Let's come against the night. Why don't you fight the fight? Fight that fight. Light the light. Let's come against the night. Why don't you listen to what we say? Fight that fight. Light the light. Come against that night. Fight the fight. Fight the fight. Light the light. Let's come against the night. Fight the fight. Fight that fight. Light the light. Won't you light that light? Let's take our stand and heal our land. Only we can do it with His ever-burning light. Fight the fight.
Why are you out here today?
Just to say that we're opposed to abortion, and we just want people to think and consider about what they're doing before they kill their children, because it always comes back to haunt you.
We were talking a little earlier in the program that there is an alternative, and a lot of gals don't know that there is an alternative to abortion. I think the statement of what's being said today by all these thousands of people out here is that there is an alternative. Now, you may know some people who may have had an abortion, and what's it like on the other side?
Well, just for the girls that I know, they think that it's over with once they have the abortion, but they just can't get over the trauma. Every time they see a child, the thought of, my daughter or my son would be 2 years old now, my son or daughter would be 4 years old now. They just can't get over the trauma. And, they feel at that point that they've been victimized and exploited by abortion because no one really told them that at the time of abortion that wouldn't be the end. And
So there's a bad end result for when you take the life of an unborn child.
And there are also so many families, even that we know personally, that are having trouble having children, and they would just love to be able to have one. So we really want to support the pregnancy centers in our area also, because they're trying to get the message out to the girls that, look, even if you feel you're too young or too inadequate to raise your own child, there are many families that really are wanting a child.
Well, we're moving down another block, and we talked with your wife before, and we're talking. You're the pastor of
Fellowship of Believers.
And why are you here today? Tell us your name.
My name is Bo Weaver, and I'm here because abortion does kill children, and it's the body of Christ needs to stand up and say that this is wrong. And that's what we're trying to do today.
It's quite an awesome sight. We came all the way now from Holmes High School, and there's a lot of people went up and down. We've heard some people out, pranksters, kind of yelling and cussing, which I pretty much expected. It's been pretty much a hard fight since Roe versus Wade in '73. Why do you think we're still going through this?
Well, I think for one thing, the church was very slow in getting involved, and too many years went by when there wasn't this type of thing happening, and now it is kind of an uphill battle. But there are some things that are taking place that are encouraging. Some of the Supreme Court decisions are starting to show that maybe that movement is cracking a little bit as far as the abortion movement itself.
Many times we forget how much God loves us and how we are all miracles created for greatness. God's miracles, little ones and old ones. Here's Whitney Houston in Miracle on Victory Videos. Stay tuned for more Victory Videos Life Chain Report with Burr Robinson, the Life Chain Chairman. Up next.
Tell me, what is in? Everybody, I want to know. In, yeah. Oh, what is in? Ooh, yeah. What is in? Everybody, tell me, I got to know. What is in? What's in?
From the day she was born, life hasn't been fair. But each year at summer camps for disadvantaged youth, the Salvation Army helps tip the scales in her favor. The Salvation Army, believing that everyone deserves a fair chance.
Okay, Dave Dobbins with you. It's sort of kind of the middle of Life Chain, and I'm here with the head coordinator of Life Chain, Burr Robinson. Burr, thanks for being with us on our program today.
It's a pleasure. Glad to be here. It's been an exciting day.
You look like you're still kind of warm.
I am warm. The Holy Spirit's got me, and I don't think he's going to let go the rest of the day.
And who do we have with us here over to your right?
Mike Listerman.
And John Case.
John Case.
Go ahead, you guys can speak. John Case.
John Case.
And Mike Listerman.
And Mike, you are with?
I'm with Warm 98, but I'm also with Life Chain.
Okay.
WIKW and with Life Chain.
Okay, great. So we got a lot of support here. From what I had learned, there's about 20,000 people out here today. And how many months of planning went into this? And how in the world did you get this many people to stand out here?
We started out about, yeah, right. Well, we didn't know it was going to be cold when we started, but that's all right. They came out anyway. We started about 6 months ago, Dave. We began to just have some awareness meetings and contacted some of the more prominent pro-life churches here in the greater Cincinnati area, and got a group of lead churches to sponsor a letter that went out to 1,800 churches. And out of that, we've got some 300 churches that had official spaces reserved in the Life Chain route. And then we've added on a lot more people today who just come up to get signs and join with us.
When we started out this program, I did not really indicate to you that how many churches were involved in this, so I'll let you make the official quote of how many you think are involved today.
Well, we know there are 300 that are located officially on the route. How many other churches are represented by their members that have just joined? We can't say, but I dare say it's probably closer to 500. But 300 officially were located on the route.
What's the purpose of why we're here today? We kind of stated at the beginning of the program, abortion kills children. There are enough people in this part of the country that feel strongly about that. What motivated you guys to really put this together and make it work?
We wanted to unify the pro-life movement, bring them together to mobilize the Christian community to make a public witness to the fact that abortion kills children and that abortion must stop.
I think one of the important things about today is the fact that we've had a lot of pro-life organizations with different aspects of this, and this has brought everybody together under one banner, the Life Chain. Everybody here saying abortion kills children. That's the basic fact.
It's pretty remarkable.
Another important aspect of the Life Chain is the outreach we want to have to the 1.6 million women who are victimized by the abortion industry each year. That's 28 million women since 1973 who are deeply scarred emotionally, that don't know the healing and forgiveness offered through Christ Jesus. And we want to have that outreach so that not only do they know, we want to let people at large know that abortion kills children. That should be common knowledge. But we also want to let women know that Jesus does heal and forgive, and He will heal and forgive them, and that's one of the most important aspects of this whole Life Chain.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. I think that we need to let everybody know that there is an alternative too. You know, everybody's talking about abortion today, but the alternative, as one of the ladies said earlier, is that there is life. You can not have that abortion and go ahead and have your child, and God can work things out. I heard a statistic, Burrow, the other day on the radio that probably was on your station, Mike, that 29,700 babies have been born in the last year. Isn't that not good news? There are a lot of people that have been not aborted.
I'm sorry, what was the statistic?
It's 29,700 babies have been born into this tri-state area.
Oh, yes, right. Well, certainly we celebrate every birth. It's a joyous occasion, and it's a tragedy every time we abort a child that's every bit as important as those 29,000 that are born.
Tell me a little bit about the fallout after this. What's going to occur next month and beyond, very briefly, before we let you go, because I know you're busy.
Well, we think that the life chain is going to lead to a building of the momentum of the pro-life movement through the ministries that are already in place here in this city. We've asked people to express their interest in participating and volunteering with those organizations. We know that they need more support and more help, and we think that's going to happen here in the greater Cincinnati area. There'll be a renewed commitment now by 20,000 people that stood here today to witness to their beliefs.
Burr, if there's one main phone number that someone could call that would want to support this, should this occur again, will this occur next year?
We don't think this will be the last life chain. We don't know when the next one will be. People have been calling my house for about a month now, and I don't mind them to keep calling if they want to call. So they can call 321-6112 here in Cincinnati, and we'd be glad to direct them to answer any questions they have and help them in any way we can.
Thank you so much, guys, for being with us today. God bless you. WAKW. Burr Robinson, our head coordinator, and Mike Listrom from One Money. God bless you guys. Appreciate your efforts, and we'll be back with more victory videos right after this.
I thought the homeless were winos, junkies. I didn't think it happened to people like me. Anybody can be homeless.
I'm a single parent with 5 children.
I consider us middle-class people. You know, up until September, he had a good paying job. He was making $15 an hour.
When I lost my job, I felt like the whole world's gone.
I don't know what I'm going to do with my 3 children and I. We need a little help.
Oh, Cincinnati, 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 don't you see? There are people crying out around us in this land of opportunity. Oh, Cincinnati, Cincinnati, we can't turn the other way, 'cause the tears that they are crying are not far away.
The free store is like a light at the end of the tunnel.
I hope they help me. I don't know what's going to happen to us.
And here's Pat Boone with his song, Let Me Live, on Victory Videos.
I had a dream the other night. Never had a dream like it. So profound, so troubling. I woke up trembling in tears. In this dream, I don't know if I can describe it. I heard a child's voice, a baby, speaking to me almost in a whisper, I think. But I could hear her clearly, full of primal joy at being newly alive. I felt deeply that child's reverence and awe at the discovery of its own existence, and I shared in the excitement. But then I heard another voice, and another, and soon there seemed to be thousands, maybe millions, I couldn't count them, all in various stages of development, all grateful for life, all singing the same urgent chorus, the same fervent plea. And I realized, though each and every one of those children was already experiencing life, not one had yet been born.
I'm 1 month old. I'm very small. I feel me growing every day in this warm, dark place. My heart is the biggest part of me, and it's beating. so glad to be alive. We're very glad to be alive. Let me live. Let me walk into the sunshine. Let me live. Feel my mother's arms around me. Feel my father's love surround me. Be a part of God's creation. Let me live. I'm 6 weeks old now, and I've grown so much. Look at me. I'm a half-inch long already. I have a little brain and a big heart and eyes. I can't see it, but I will. Just give me time. Let me live. Let me walk into the sunshine. Let me live. Feel my mother's arms around me. Feel my father's love surround me. Be a part of God's creation. Let me live. Fingers and toes, my own mouth, my own lips. And I'm 2 months old today. My heart is beating fast. And I feel another heart, big and strong, somewhere all around me. Is that my mother? Let me live. Let me walk into the sunshine. Let me live. Feel my mother's arms around me. Feel my father's love surround me. Be a part of God's creation. Let me live. I'm 3 months old now, and my arms and legs have real bones. I'm growing and kicking too. Can you feel it? I could turn my head, I could squint and frown and make a fist. See, I could curl my toes. And I think my mother knows I'm here. I'm alive! I'm alive!
I woke up then, and I knew I was hearing something real. Thousands of unborn children were singing to me from their mother's wombs. And they're not just mindless bits of flesh. They're human beings already in touch with their mothers, with God, with life. They deserve to live.
Feel my father's love surround me. Be a part of God's creation. Let me live.
You know, we've talked today a lot and seen a lot of music videos about the issue of abortion and whether life should be taken out of the womb of the mother or whether it shouldn't. You know, only God knows the true answer to this type of, this very, very controversial subject. But you know, if you are in a position today where you're a young gal or a middle-aged gal or an even older gal who may be pregnant, you may be confused and may not know what to do, we just would like to exhort you from our hearts today to let you know that abortion is wrong and there is an alternative. Just remember that God loves you and you have a life that's inside of you. That's why He put it there. It may not be the reasons why you wanted it there, but God has got another alternative for you, so consider life today. This is Dave Dobbins thanking you for joining us on this special edition of Victory Videos. We'd like to thank all the members that have participated in Life Chain today, and we'd ask you to just keep these people in your prayers who are involved in this type of situation. Until next time, Dave Dobbins saying, remember to love somebody today with the love of Jesus. Bye-bye. Many people believe in the sanctity of human life, as you've seen today on today's program. No group of 5 people would agree on this issue, but people take a stand for what we believe in, and that's what America has always been great about. About whether you believe in things that are in the Bible or whether you believe in God, I don't know. But taking a life before it's born or when a person is 80 or 90 years old, is that right? Is it right to kill? I don't think everyone will agree on that subject, but shouldn't we try to practice and live the values that God teaches us in the Bible? Life Jane will probably be held in other cities across America as time goes on. One final note. If you or someone you know is pregnant, get a second opinion before you make your decision about your child. It may be a matter of life and death. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dave Dobbins, and we'll see you next time on Victory Videos.
Children come and children go, like the grass, they fade away. In each heart, there's more than gold, yet through fear, they're thrown away. Father, 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 how your heart must ache for the newly formed little lives we take. You can hear the silent screaming going on. It's